Welcome back to Troggy Trog's Let's Play Dungeons and Dragons Online. Or should I say that like Gary Gygax? Dungeons and Dragons Online! Anyway, Depths of Doom. The Depths of Doom is the next one. This is the last part of the Depths series. And then we'll go get our rewards right after. There's like 4 rewards. It's nearby. It's like a little tavern that has all this stuff. That's if we survive, I guess. I should make sure we survive. So we'll start off with Ram's Might. It's a buff, and then if we need to, we'll use our wand to buff up a little bit more. Let's see. I guess we'll go this way. We don't have Ratty Rat. You want to slip us the hole? No Ratty Rat. It's an elf bandit. Man, how many elves have I killed in this game so far? Not many. I mean, other than maybe a couple of the Quickfoot gang, but most of the Quickfoots I think were human. Well, there were a few, I guess, that might have been elves. I like how there's actually like racial banes in this game. Like, you know, there's elf bane and halfling bane. You can even have weapons that deal damage, extra damage, bane damage to constructs. I think it's kind of cool, but it's kind of funny because some of those, there's not that many like halflings or elves. Well, I guess there are more elves probably in the game than halflings, but there is a halfling bane. It's probably like the least used bane weapon in the game, unless you do some of the tavern fight stuff. Maybe if you're expecting to fight a lot of PvP people in the tavern brawls. There's really not much of a PvP setup for this game. This is basically like it's just PvE, but that's all right. You know, there's some games that PvP works in really well, and other games it probably doesn't. I would love to see this game have a PvP that was fun, like having a big war where you're conquering regions and zones. But you probably would lose a lot of the hardcore players, or they just wouldn't play the game to begin with. They'd be like, no, or they just avoid the PvP side of it altogether. Just PvP's not fun. But it is a lot of fun, you know. It's just it has to be like the right combination of things. What I like about this game is a ton of things you can put in your hotbar, like a lot of abilities and skills. Probably too many, really. But more is always kind of better, in my opinion. As long as it works. A game like ESO, they had a super, like, I don't even want to say kindergarten-esque. I want to call it like preschool-esque or worse. It's like a freaking like baby crawl-esque hotbar system. You like really can only put about 6 abilities in a quick slot type, you know, thing that had 8 abilities. Ooh, here's a earth elemental. It was really limited, and I mean, I understand kind of the reason why, because they're trying to make the game playable with a controller. But what am I doing right now? I'm playing this game with a controller. I use a mouse to do some, like, when I switch this, so when I do this, I'm using a mouse. When I'm this, I'm a controller mode. So I have my mouse next to me, and I can utilize my mouse very effectively. I've been able to raid heal very effectively with this character, with my, well, not this character, but with my clerics and healers and stuff, my favorite souls, my bards. You know, I can heal just as good as anyone else. And I will dare say that, yes, I can heal just as good as the F1 through 12, you know, type healers, the tab targeters. I can play this game just as good as everyone else, and I've got characters to prove that. Right now I'm just playing normal difficulty on this character, but I'm not at all handicapped by using a controller, not in the slightest. In fact, I think it's easier to play this game with a controller, honestly. That's just me, you know. There might be a few things that I don't get to do, like type people in chat, you know. Because I don't have a keyboard sitting on my lap the whole time, but I use a keyboard for this game when I need to, like when I'm typing in search engines at the auction house and things like that. But I just, when ESO, knowing that they're eventually going to release their game on console, which they're supposed to be doing here shortly. I'm gonna go all the way around, guys. By the way, I still got to do this section. But knowing that ESO is going to release their game on console, I was really disappointed to see that they had no console control support for the game. was like they created a game that didn't have any console control. This game has console control support. I mean, this game straight up has console control support. You have a key mapping section for using hotkeys and what they call hat switch keys. I mean, this game's made to play with a controller if you want to play with a controller. Most people don't, but I've talked to a few people that do. I would say less than 5% of the, probably more like 2 or 3% of the population tops actually use a controller to play this game. But I've always used controllers to play my PC games, so that's just me. But it's not hard to point and click like I just did there. I cast Ramsmite in the middle of a fight. It's not hard to do that, even in a hairy fight where you're fighting an elite in a raid or something. I mean, I've done it since day one with this character. I used the controller since day one, and I made it work, and I've gotten used to it. So it doesn't take very much to get used to it. And I did the same thing with ESO. I played with controller since day one. I got it to work. I was able to play in PvP and wreak havoc in PvP with the controller with no mods. And in ESO you can actually have mods, which is freaking hilarious. I laugh because people have all these mods that make it easier to play the game. You can see hit points over play other players' heads and all that kind of stuff. I didn't do it. I just played the vanilla game, and I was owning people in PvP. As a Nightblade, I could assassinate people. I wasn't maybe the best player ever in that game, but I wasn't also trying to be the best player ever. I was trying to play a flavor build like I am here. I'm always trying to play the Troggy Trog, roguey assassin, ranger, kind of jack of all trades, do everything, not necessarily be a specialist in any one particular category. But I think I did pretty good in there. I mean, I ran with a lot of guys. I don't know if any of those guys are watching my channel right now. I know some of them are subscribed, but I ran with a lot of guys, and I think we all did pretty good in there. And they knew I was using a controller and used voice chat instead of typing a lot. And I think we did really well, especially in our little small gank squads of 2 or 3, 4 guys. We had a lot of fun in our gank squads. I was just the PvP in that game was a lot of fun. Sadly, it needed a lot of work too. It was kind of the neglected side of the game, and it had a lot of lag and balancing issues with. I think the Sorks are basically completely overpowered, and the Dragon Knights are kind of, for the most part, completely overpowered compared to everything else. The Templars and the Nightblades had a couple maybe OP abilities, but overall, as a character class, the sorcerers, which are basically the wizards in that game, and the I would say the Dragon Knights, they just had abilities that made them kind of able to just go fight 5 or 6 guys on their own by themselves, and where everyone else that you kind of almost you might be able to take 2 guys on by yourself, maybe 3, but that was usually the most you could handle. So I hope they balance that stuff. I know in ESO they're talking about a big update. It's a really fun game. It's just it has its issues. Ooh, look at that! Somebody came behind me. Oh, what are you doing? You're sneaking up behind me there. What you doing, Mr. Minotaur? Minotaur. I'm sorry. How do you pronounce? I always pronounce it Minotaur, but I've heard the dungeon masters in this game pronounce it Minotaur, which, if you think about it, there's not 2 N's in it. There's only 1, so it should have a long I sound. But I've never looked it up in a dictionary to find out how to pronounce it. I just assumed the pronunciation ever since I was a kid when I first played Dungeons and Dragons, and came across them, or when I read a book on mythology, one or the other. Okay, so let's get that. Oh, that one's already on. Cool. Didn't realize I still had that clicked. Alrighty. By the way, this is a really nasty blade trap if you don't disarm that. And a lot of people run up to it and then ding, they're dead. So if you notice, I went to the other side first and opened up the doors so you could get to the shrine. Because if you die, you can run over here as a ghost. Hopefully, in the 10 seconds you're allowed to run before you reach rubber band, and you can click that shrine. So if you ever do this, it's always a good idea, especially if you're in a pug group. Let everyone else go that way. You go over here and prep the resurrection alley for them, because they're going to be running back. And this is low enough level that most people don't have resurrect abilities at all. So there are a few exceptions to that, but most people don't have that. Could use a shrine. Let me go a little further, and then we'll go back and hit the shrine, I think. I'm sorry, I'm rambling about Elder Scrolls and other games. You guys are probably like, I don't give a crap. I just want to hear about Dungeons and Dragons Online. I'm just gonna clear out a few spots, make sure everything. Sometimes, and it's probably more common on higher difficulties, there's a red or an orange named Rare here. I'll do this just so we can heal up. We don't really need the SP so much, but we do need, the hit points and our click keys. The end of this is actually can be rough. It can be a real rough ending. So try to avoid the rough ending if we can. Let's make sure everything's good to go. Probably go ahead and hit this rage just to give us a few goodies here. I think when we get down here, we're gonna go ahead and just in case we, that'll help us if we get knocked down, or get our jump a little bit higher. Just probably won't need it, but whoa, jump out of that stuff. Woo. I'm just gonna run around like a crazy person for a little bit so I can get these crates. We probably already have ransack, but yeah, we do. Okay. So I don't have to worry about it then. Alright. Let's see if I can bluff them. Nope. I need a charisma item and a bluff item so we can continue to use bluff. That's funny, he was shooting his bow, but he was kind of had the stars going around his head, like he was dazed. Ogres do that. I guess they get raged up so much they kind of stun themselves, or get I don't know what they call it. Like when a barbarian uses rage and you deactivate your rage or whatever, or your rage runs out, you're kind of fatigued afterwards. So I don't know if that's what they go through. It's like a stun. Like you see the little stars going around their head. They'll do that often. So nothing to write home about as far as the loot goes in this quest this time through. I mean, sometimes you get some nice loot. We got all the bonuses, so it is time to go get our rewards, and we have 4 of them. So check this out. And yes, I have to rebuff. We're going to be in the tavern for a little bit right after this, so this basically spawns you out just so you see where I'm at. This is where the first one was, right? And we went down here, and then each one of these has got a little hatch. Depths of Darkness, Discord. So you can enter each one singularly, or you can just do them all in a chain like I just did, basically, because they have an entrance inside and outside. So whatever your preference is. Hammersmith Inn. Do 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 do. Hammer time. Alright. Ha! Proved too much for Slisk. Okay, yeah, this is actually the guy who gives you the first one. So what we'll do is we'll go clockwise around here and get our rewards. Ooh, that's a really nice ring. I've seen better, but if it's Master of Craftsmanship, that's actually nice, and it's better than what we're wearing as far as false life goes. So I think we'll take that. We'll go ahead and repeat the quest. Let you guys read that if you want to pause it. It's a lot of dialogue there. And then, well done, and thank you. Let's see. I've been thinking about wearing chainmail, but I get an armor check penalty of 1 point, and then that could be crucial in certain situations. but chainmail looks better most of the time than this leather. The leather, I've been disappointed by the look of it. It just looks horrendous for the most part. And this is almost like skin tone, you know, to Troggy's color. It almost looks like he's half naked in some areas, you know. And the other ones weren't that great either. I kind of like the lattice, you know, laced up looking boots and stuff, but the rest of it's kind of like eh. Looks like, you know, he just threw this together from some patches of junky leather he's found laying around town. But I think we'll go with heroic deeds. I don't want that -1 penalty on my skills. It's not all your skills, but I think it's like hide, move silently, jump, things like that. Your physical skills. Ooh, impressive trophy. That's an easy one there. Actually, we should see. We should see about. Oh, look, there's a longbow draining. I was just rambling here. You know, I sometimes get some really nice rewards from these guys from doing this chain. But I wanted to see where we were in our guild here. Oh yeah, about a third of the way through level 7 already. That's good. Why don't we show you guys how to set guild messages if you're a guild leader. It's pretty simple. You can do it this way, or you can just actually type console type commands in the chat box. But we'll say obvious exits north, south, east, and Deneith. There you go. I'm trying to put references to Homestar Runner in here because that's kind of one of my favorite things in life is Homestar Runner. Yeah. Alright, well that's it. That's the end of that. I'm gonna go sell, repair, and you know, do all that good stuff. And oh yeah, let's real quickly look at our compendium. So we're done, like levels 1 through levels 4 are all done. So now we're gonna start level 5, and actually there are more level 5 quests than any of the levels previous per level. So normally I can fit them all in this little window and see them all, but you actually have to scroll down a tad to see them all. There's about 3 or 4 that hide below the line here, and there's no way to extend this. They should make a way to drag this like you do with the chat box. You know, give these little drag arrows, you know. But oh well. I'm probably gonna do that. This is just blabbing along here, but this is a chain here, and the end of the chain is actually a level 6 quest. So I'd like to save this one for later, because obviously, you know, level 6 and all that. I'd like to try to get all the level 5s done, and then worry about the level 6 stuff. Under the big top is it's the carnival chain. That's the I'm trying to think. Oh, here we go. Snitch. Snitch is one of them, but this is part of that carnival chain here, and that's one that's all level 5. Oh, I'm burdened again. It's all level 5 stuff, but I'm thinking we have like 3 Barrel Cove, which is an island area with a wilderness. It's a really cool area. We have some of those that are coming up there, level 5, several of those. And we have these, you know, Party Crasher Snitch, big top ones. And then we have like some House K ones. We've already done a few. We're at level 5. We have Town Root Gorge again. So it's going to be, I think we'll save Town Root Gorge for a little later. Man, there's just so many things, but we'll figure it out. I think we'll do whatever single quests are around Stormreach, and then maybe go over to 3 Barrel Cove, and or do the House P chain, the Carnival chain, since they're all like level 5. And we still have about a rank and a half to go before we have to level, which is good. So that's good. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the next episode.